Thank you, Lars. Hi, everyone. I'm Nilsson, one of the co-founders of Nomoko and the CEO of the company. And as Lars already introduced, we're a digital twin company and set ourselves the vision to digitize the physical world. If you can see on the next slide, what is the general problem, or first towards us as a team? We combine the best of two worlds. I think we have a very diverse team of more than 30 people, all very young and from 12 different nationalities, coming together to build a digital future for the physical world. And we also have a very experienced board with Michel as our chairman and the former vice chairman of UBS, currently on the board of Vodafone, and Thierry as the former chairman of Skype, to really bring in that industry experience. So together, we're actually moving forward and I want to transform the real estate industry. If you see on the next slide, the current state is that worldwide, the real estate industry is the largest financial asset class. And yet, surprisingly, it hasn't even benefited from the financial benefits of digitization at large. So it's one of the largest industries in terms of finance, and still it has not been able to profit from the benefits of digitization. And if you see on the next slide, the core problem of that, in our opinion, is that what we call the MP3 moment of digitizing actually the underlying asset, the physical building, has not happened yet. So only if you have the digital information about the building and the data in one place, then you can actually build all the digital solutions around it. But today, an ubiquitous availability of this information is not there yet as a standard. The good thing is that on the next slide, you see the solution coming towards the industry, which is the digital twin as a concept. So this is really the MP3 moment of the physical world. What does it mean? It means it is the combined information and combined digital replica of the building, but not just the building, the entire city or also the entire country. So how does this happen? This is the combination of many different data sources. They come from different suppliers. They come from ourselves when it comes to centimeter level 3D models or data analytics about, for instance, the floor potential that is available for a given plot. It is the inclusion of commercial partnerships such as Immodata Cockpit, or as read in terms of transaction data, commercial and residential, but as well as the rental prices as an example. It is the inclusion of open data from SwissPropTech and other sources, which is open, available, and free data. And it's also the inclusion of official and legal authorities like the municipalities for information such as the cadastre, the zoning law, the construction law, everything combined into one location. Often we get asked, is all of this data open? Yes, for those who are accessing our platform, this data is available. And there's also the possibility in the future to add the private digital twin, which is then only available to the person who actually owns the building, which are then confidential information such as rental contracts or other information that you have about your building. So how do we bring this to the real estate industry is shown on the next slide, and how we approach this. The first step was actually to build this digital twin and collect the data and form a digital twin for every building, which is part of the database. So today you can imagine every building has all of these informations aggregated together and is then the foundation towards digitizing the real estate industry. The second step is to give access to this digital twin. That's an important step because only if a lot of people have access to it, you can really benefit from the value coming from a digital twin and from that technology. So that means it's web accessible, it's accessible on any device, and is like this really in a democratic way accessible. You don't need a powerful computer in order to access it. The third step is then building an ecosystem, meaning that we invite other PropTech companies which build their solutions on top of a digital twin to join the same ecosystem and provide their solution, which is part of digitizing the entire workflow. Now, what I'm really happy to announce today, and this has been a massive achievement by the team that we've gone to this point, you see on the next slide, is the first product of many to come within that space. It's the announcement of our real estate platform, Predia, which in the end has its first module, which is there to find the best locations and understand their potential at a mouse click. So what does it mean? It means you can now search through this digital twin and use this digital twin to filter the properties which you are really interested in. You can start look for features such as find all the properties with floor potential that can be used for residential housing. You can search it for a certain price range. You can search it for a certain age of the building and many, many more data combinations to come. At the same time, you have a quick understanding of the potential of this building by getting access to all the information which is necessary to have a quick and fast due diligence if this property is something which is relevant for you as a real estate developer or also as an architect in order to make a new suggestion on this. Here included is all the legal information, the cadastre, market situation, and an assessment of the location, and also the capacity, how many additional floors and how much more in terms of square meters can you build on top of the current situation. So this is something we're announcing today and give access to a much broader audience after being testing with a very exclusive audience the past 3 to 4 months, and very, very happy, and a big thank you and congrats to the team to pull this off in that time. As a company, we're not stopping there. Our ambition really is to position the digital twin, as you can see on the next slide, as a holistic approach of digitizing the real estate industry. This should be a central place where digitization around the real estate industry can happen. And we're looking here at really 4 big sectors. And those 4 big sectors are interconnected, and the information should pass on from one module to the other. The first one I just explained is the possibility to identify investment opportunities and get a quick assessment of them, which is the entire stage of finding actually new properties. The second stage within that workflow is the plan stage, where it's all about planning a new development, being able to communicate it in 3D, being able to collaborate, and everything that is around making and visualizing your vision for what can be built on that plot. Then afterwards, it goes into the building phase, where it's all about bringing that vision to life in terms of construction. And finally, of course, the management of the building, where then it becomes all around property management in order to have the data available in digital twin to automate your processes, accelerate, and find, again, gaps in your portfolio in order to then decide where next to do something as such. All of this, we're not building ourselves. We really see ourselves as the integrator of those 4 stages together with partners, together with other companies providing partial solutions within that ecosystem. But the ambition is to position a digital twin as one foundation for that, and the ability to pass on the information between those stages, and that finally data is ubiquitously available to really digitize the space. On the next slide, please. I'm happy to announce the Real Estate Shapers for Switzerland. This is our early access towards the Predia platform that were announced today. For whom is this? This is for all the first movers, for all the early adopters which want to jump into the journey of digitization, starting with the possibility to find new properties. The benefits are that you can have access to this before your competition, before anyone else, and you get a community of very like-minded companies who want to drive forward the digitization within real estate. Thanks a lot. Please reach out. On the next slide, you see my contact. We're ready to welcome you and looking forward to digitize the real estate industry together. That's it from me.